Brand new purple light. Friends. Brand new purple light. Friends. Facts. Brand new purple light. Friends. Red and blue. Purple light. Friends. Facts. You can get to know the ledger. Sacrilegious. Sunday to melanin Monday. You can get to know the ledger. My love, just open your third eye on Thursday. Lord, the food, the art, the clothes, the Vatican's getting exposed fast. We put the show on the road. You better stay on your toes. I was till the land focused on the ego. Then I open my heart, let go of the ego. Grand after grand, we stacking up these C notes. Facts, facts, yeah. We gon' put this shit on our backs. Facts, facts. We in your city, pull up where we at. Facts, facts. Peace, love and light. Peace, love. To the family, peace, love, and light. To the family, peace, love, and light. To the family.
These days and time, black man, is going to be the time that you have been waiting for. You came here for a reason. Whatever pressure, whatever adversity, whatever the fuck you feel, I don't know what you feel, but whatever you may be feeling is going to push you and it's going to provoke you and it's either going to make you or break you, similar to how pressure busts pipes or the shit makes diamonds.
Peace to the family, peace to you and yours. Peace to the family, peace to you and yours. Welcome, welcome, welcome to Sacrilegious Sundays. You are now rocking with the best, yes. This is your host for the evening, Brother Red Pillar. All right. Shout out to everybody in the building. Shout out to everybody in the building. This is Sacrilegious Sunday. Let me know how we sounding on the audio. Let me know how we are sounding on the audio, please. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. All right. Right on time. Let me know. Let me know. Okay, we sound good. Awesome, awesome, awesome. All right, so let's go ahead and let's get into the roll call, and then we're gonna begin our prayer. Oh yes, the song that you just heard is the Facts remix by the 44 Tops, and I'm gonna put the link right here so you could be able to get the song if you were asking. The link for the song is right here. Buy me a coffee. The link is in the bio, and I'll drop it in the chat room as well. Yeah. Shout out to the 44 Tops. All right. All right, we got AZ in the building. Shout out to Arizona. We got Harlem in the building. We got Detroit in the building. All right. We got Nashville in the building. Nashville, Tennessee. San Jose. We got Columbus, Ohio. We have New Bedford. You dig? We have Toronto. T-Dot in the building. Shout out to T-Dot. You dig? Akron, Ohio. Shout out to Akron, Ohio. Legends. We see you. We see you. The DMV is in the building. We have Greenville, North Carolina. Welcome, welcome. Tuscaloosa, Alabama. Welcome. Salute, salute. West Virginia. We see you. Norfolk. Salute. All right. Ireland. Salute. How y'all doing over there in Ireland? Naptown. Shout out to the Naptown. Shout out to Bmore, Baltimore. Shout out to Baltimore in the building. You know something that I realized? Sacramento in the building. All right. Shout out to Sacramento. Columbus, Ohio. Shout out to the Ohio family. Little Rock. Shout out to the Arkansas family. Chai Ill, Chicago, Illinois. Shout out to y'all. Merritt Island, Florida. We here. I see you. Grand Rapids, Michigan. I see you. Is Floyd from Grand Rapids? Floyd. Is he Grand Rapids? Thieveland, Ohio. Shout out to Thieveland, Ohio. Rome, Georgia. It wouldn't be it wouldn't be a show if Rome wasn't in the building. Shout out to Rome. Shout out to Jersey. Shout out to Charlotte. You know what I mean? Shout out to Houston. Salute to the Houston family. Jackson, Mississippi. You dig? Jackson. Yo, Jackson, Mississippi. Yo. We gotta talk about Jackson, Mississippi. What the some shit going down in Jackson, Mississippi. Them niggas is on demon time. Another person a few strong ago was set on. Yo, what's going on? I posed this question on my IG. What's up with all of the emotions at the end of the year? What's good with the emotions? What emotion is people catching fire. Like, what the hell is going on? And what even made it go crazier is that the first report, okay, let me finish with the shout outs. I'm all over the place. Yes, Floyd is from Grand Rapids. All right. Home of Money May. That's right. Jacktown, Harlem. All right. So I've been paying attention to the news cycle, and it's really something stuck out to me that this is very abnormal. Okay. I'm not going to go and source all of the articles right now because it's like, you know what I mean? It's some news that you touch and then but I noticed the situation in New York City on a train. Now, this was a white woman, if my research serves me correct. This was a Caucasian lady that got lit on fire. Okay. And she was in so much shock that she didn't even move. It was said that she was sleeping on a train and a migrant, right? Or what are we calling these people? I don't know. I want to be politically correct. You feel me? I want to be politically correct. It's a lot of shit, bro, in this last few days ending out this calendar. It's some heinous shit going on. First and foremost, I will say this, and I'm going to say this in the lecture on Monday. I'm going to start out the lecture on Monday to remind everybody that we've been living through a freaking genocide all of 2024. My timeline has been headless children, people blown a bit. I don't know what your timeline is like. I had to cleanse it a little bit, but the algorithm is still showing me all of these quote unquote war crimes. You feel me? So think about this. The undergirding, right? Or what they will call the backdrop of everything going on this year has been a genocide. And this genocide is a different genocide than genocides that we've seen before. This genocide is aiming to normalize the murder of children. Now, keep in mind, they've been doing this. Is It Real has been doing this over the decades. Because when I was doing the research on 2014, they was in a proxy war with the Gaza back then. So what they do is they kind of like, it's like they're because they're running the media. The reason why a lot of shit has been able, like, people forgot about Is It Real? People forgot about, they normalized the genocide. People accepted it and they kept it moving. It was a little bit of resistance at first, but what they do by having control of both the media, control of the politicians, basically control of damn near everything. They are now normalizing the fuckery, okay? And when they normalize it, there's a sense of dehumanization that's taking place in the subconscious minds of those who are viewing it. They are affecting us by the shit that they're doing, okay, vicariously. So, yeah, you got to watch what you entertain. You feel me? That's why, like, they call it doom scrolling, right? Doom scrolling, like when you on TikTok or IG or whatever, and you doom scrolling, like, I can't help, even if I wanted to just regular scroll. There's no regular scrolls in 2024. All of that shit was a doom scroll, because every three posts, I'm looking at a genocide, and I feel powerless. Yeah, as you said, brain rot, right? This is what's causing creative fatigue and whatnot. This is what's burning people out. This is what got people on edge and whatnot. This is one of the reasons why a lot of people are snapping. They normalized debauchery. They're normalizing heinous type of behaviors. Like I was saying, and I've been pointing out, and I'm going to go in a deeper dive into it about this quote unquote villain era and the way that Western culture, this is not existing outside of the whole picture. Western culture, the white man, okay, white Anglo-Saxon Protestants, okay, foundational white Americans, FWAs, right? They are normalizing these activities, this mind state, okay? You said none of that is on your timeline. Like, how I you know the kind of weight that I got to carry, because I'm the researcher. I'm the one doing research. I'm not researching tree hugging. I'm not researching all of the positive things in life. I'm going down the rabbit hole to get information and to pull shit and bring it to the people. And that deep dive that I go on is like the dark web. You feel me? It's a dark fucking descent. You know what I mean? And when you go dark, when you go into these tunnels and whatnot, you don't know what you're gonna come across. You feel me? You don't know what you're gonna come across. So it's almost like a victim of the research, because I got to do the research, but I also have to deal with the fact that a lot of that shit it can affect your mental state. You know what I mean? It could affect your energy levels. You got to kind of get your aura cleansed and whatnot. Sometimes you have to take a fast. You got to take a fast. So I don't know when I'm going to do it. You know what I'm talking about? But I'm going to take a fast from social media in 2025. It might be a month. It depends. It might be 2 months, but 2024, it was a lot, yo. And especially studying for this year in review and whatnot, it's a lot. And I'm not complaining. I'm an alchemist. You feel me? I'm an alchemist. I know how to turn a lot of things into other things. You feel me? That's one of the gifts of a Scorpio. No braggadocio, but I'm just an alchemist, and I'm good on, taking what might be some dark shit and turning it into something. Because to be honest with you, when I teach about it, right, when I make people aware of it, and I'm not making you aware of something to put you in a bad state, I'm actually demystifying it. When I'm speaking about it, I'm taking the fear, I'm defanging it and whatnot. You feel me? I'm taking away a lot of the punch, because you feel what you don't understand. Shout out to Spence City. All right, what up? You feel what you don't understand, right? So people feel what they don't understand. So if somebody is able to break some shit down for you, then you'll have a better understanding of it. Let's go back to these fires and whatnot. So the first fire, now mind you, there's been 3 or 4 people who set themselves on fire this year in protest of the Gaza war, right? And it was underreported. They did not speak about it because they don't want the public to really know that people are literally out here taking their lives to protest a war, right? And then later on, just the other day, in New York City, Gotham City, mind you, right? Not New York City, Gotham City, right? An immigrant, I believe he's from Guatemala. You know, do you think a physical genocide is on its way to America? Huh. The proximity in which is it real has to America. You understand? Like these same people that I'm speaking of, who literally showed their fangs, who's literally showing because the world is aware of the heinous. The world is aware of the heinousness of these people in the Middle East. Now, if something were to ever happen, like let's just say that there was martial law declared, let's just say that Trump decided that he wanted to get on his dictatorship, those are the people that they're bringing over here to do the work. You understand? And I'm not talking about on some foot soldier shit. They play a different type of game. It was them who popped off with the killer drones at first. You see all of this drone activity. Well, goddamn it, it was them who, not really just them, because America under Obama, they were the ones with the Predator drones and shit like that. But it was them in this year who really amped up this whole thing with killer army, like swarms of drones. They was killing shit. Then they were the first ones to implement AI, okay, in a war and whatnot. And they've been rolling out these dogs, and I think that they got robots on the ground right now. They got robots on the ground in the Ukraine. I'm gonna pull that up. And Blue Pill had highlighted that. They got robots in the Ukraine right now. So all of that Skynet shit is literally at play. So the possibility of some genocidal campaigns can take place. It's a very thin line because those are the ones running the show. If you think that Donald Trump, or if you think the goddamn Republicans, old crusty ass Joe Biden and them, if you think that they are the ones running the show and pushing a button and then I mean, we just have to we have to remain in class a little bit longer. I don't fault you because it is what it is. They do a great job of covering things up. They do a great job of throwing rocks and hot in their hands. They do a great job of having you look in certain places when it's right there. Right? So rewind. The lady got lit on fire in a train in New York. At first, I thought it was a black lady, right? Because it's a homeless epidemic in New York and whatnot. And I call this the Daniel Perry effect or the Daniel Penny effect. When that white man got acquitted for killing that man who was the Michael Jackson impersonator inside of the subways, then I already knew what it was going to be because I know the mind state of New Yorkers and whatnot. All you got to do is give a New Yorker the green light. They'll take everything else in their own hands. You dig what I'm saying? The way the New Yorkers move, New Yorkers will deputize. It's a vigilante culture out there. They will deputize themselves to do some shit as long as they are like, yo, the NYPD is cool with this shit. We're gonna go ahead and carry it out. So at first I'm like, yeah, this is that shit. This is that shit that I'm seeing. It's copycat killers. You know what I mean? Somebody done lit a homeless person on fire on some, whatever that means. Come to find out, this was not a black lady. This was a woman. This is a white woman and whatnot. Okay, this is a white lady, and the immigrant, I think he's from Guatemala, and he lit on fire. And the video is I don't recommend nobody watch that video. I'm not even gonna finna pull it up. You know what I mean? It's very disturbing. Okay, going back to what I was saying about It's a lot of disturbing shit taking place in the last few weeks and whatnot. She literally could not move. She was stuck. She was just standing there. I've seen somebody in that state before. It's called shock. Okay, it's called shock. I seen somebody in shock, and they literally could not move when they were supposed to be moving. Okay, if shock comes over you, it could literally freeze you in your tracks. And another observation that a sister made, her name is Monique Sunshine. She said, yo, we have to pay attention to the clothes that we wear because of the materials in the clothes are flammable. Okay. What that means is that polyester shit, a motherfucker could drop a cigarette butt and your whole shit could light on fire. And, you know, it could be a bad look and whatnot. So, boom, that situation happened in New York. It was like traumatizing and whatnot. But then something was like, this is a program taking place. This is a psyops. Like, pay attention. Immediately after that, it was 3 other people that got lit on fire. This was not all in New York. This was in other places. 3 different people. Some nigga lit his girl on fire. A black girl, she was going to the store or something. Somebody jumped her and lit her on fire. And then right after that, the plane started crashing. Now, I don't know if y'all realize it, but when a plane crashes, it sets fires off, right? And everybody on the majority of the time when people die from these plane crashes, it's because of emotion, smoke and inhalation, and basically them being incinerated inside of a goddamn it turns into an oven and whatnot. So it went from the lady on a train where people were literally just walking. I promise you, people were walking by the lady while she was on fire, fam. That's how normalized. I'm not gonna get all satanic on you, but that's how they've normalized depravity in a place like New York City. You know what I'm saying? Which used to have a little bit of dignity and whatnot, but it seems that they've lost that. You know, it seems that they've lost that, unfortunately. You know what I'm saying? But these planes, South Korea, right? It was South Korea when I woke up today. I'm like, God damn, what the fuck? And then right before that, what was the other one at? Was it India? But it's literally been about 2 or 3 of them crashes. Russia, right? The Russia, they said the shit got hit with a missile and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? And Vladimir Putin had to apologize. You feel me? Like, this is some weird shit going on. So that was just an observation. You know what I mean? This, you know, it's just an observation. You feel me? The season finale is full of a lot of shit, man. We're gonna talk about some things today, man. Let's talk about Fat Joe, man. Let's talk about Fat Joe and the situation with Fat Joe. When you talk about a man on fire, this nigga is on fire right now for the wrong reasons. He's getting cooked on the internet. It's a Fat Joe barbecue taking place. You know what I'm talking about? It's a Fat Joe barbecue. Fat Joe and all of his pork rinds is getting cooked right now. You know what I'm talking about? It's a barbecue on Tremont Ave. They cooking this nigga, and rightfully so. I'm here to let you know, Fat Joe been racist. He been on that. He's a German, right? And no disrespect to any of my Boricuas, any of my Latinos, any of the family out there who are from the islands and whatnot. But when we was in New York City, we would call our brothers and sisters from Puerto Rico Germans, right? When and you know, that's like, you know, that's Rikers Island talk. And the only reason that we will call them Germans is because they was acting like them. You feel me? And they've had, let's not talk about the Dominicans and how they treat the Haitians. Let's not even get into that. But the Puerto Ricans in New York, you know what I mean? And nobody can tell me that the situation with the Puerto Ricans in New York is a peaceful one, because the reason why the Bloods as a gang was even started was because of what the fuck they were on what the Puerto Ricans on Rikers Island was doing to the black people. Okay. So they had to form a group, they had to gang up and defend themselves, right, against what they called the Crusades. This was in 1993. How do I know? Nigga, I was there. I was in C-74. There was a war called the Crusades. Okay. The blacks versus the Germans. And there was always this little sentiment of, the Latin Kings, the Nietas, and a few other groups and whatnot. And once again, I'm not singling out our brothers and sisters from New York. I'm not singling out our brothers and sisters from Puerto Rico and things of that nature, Cuba, Dominican Republic. But I know going into 2025 that a conversation or some type of understanding is going to have to somebody's going to have to take responsibility. That's all I'm saying. Somebody's going to have to come forward and just be like, yo, you know what? Yeah, you know what I mean? We look down on y'all. You know what I'm saying? We talk crazy about y'all. So what side were the black Latinos on? Man, I mean, it wasn't a lot of them on the sides of the Latin Kings, but they did have some melanated Cubans. There was a leader. He used to get super busy. He was Cuban, a black Cuban. He would get, you know what I mean? He was a warrior. You feel me? So, they're gonna stick to their own. They're gonna gang. You know what I mean? It's like that with the Mexicans. It's like that, you know what I'm saying? Like it is what it is. The reason why Fat Joe is under fire, for anybody that not be familiar with it, he was on Mav Hoffa's show, and I said it on this show. I don't like the direction that Mav Hoffa has been going over this year. It started out from being a platform that I was like, yo, I need to be on that chair right there. I need to be on my expert opinion. I was feeling what Mav Hoffa was building and whatnot. But that's when Heineken, Esso, and a few other people was on the show. After some of his collaborators left the show hasn't been the same. You feel me? It doesn't have the same type of appeal. It don't got the same type of energy. It's on a downward spiral. It's one of those podcasts for 2024 that has descended, because the black podcasts have descended while the white podcasts went up. What's fucking with that? The white boys got Trump in the office from the podcast and whatnot. The niggas failed and they didn't get nobody in office, and they're not really factors anymore. They running out of shit to talk about, and they running out of niggas to interview. I'm not really feeling, I can't say that there's no podcast that I immediately press click on when I see it. And I'm maybe I'm biased. I don't know. I'm trying not to be, but there's really no podcast that got me hooked like that. And that wasn't the case a year ago. I was hooked. I was binging on podcasts all effing day. You feel me? But I don't do that no more. You know what I'm saying? I don't do that no more. Them shits don't really hold me like that. So yeah, Mav Hoffa fell off, right? In terms of his content. Respectfully. You know what I'm saying? Respectfully. I hope if he even sees this, he don't take it personal. It is, I mean, if I was in a barbershop getting a shape up, I would say that I would say it in the barbershop. You know what I mean? We have to be honest with one another so one another can change for the better, correct? Right? I want y'all to be honest with me. If I'm falling off, if red is slipping and whatnot, if shit is not what it used to be, if it ain't hitting like that, don't spare my feelings. You know what I mean? I'm not a cancer. No disrespect to the cancers. I'm not, you know, I got feelings. I'm a human being. You know what I'm talking about? But I'll get over it. You know what I mean? I'll get over it. So he goes on Math Hoffa's show. And off the rip, it's just one of those, I just call Fat Joe because there's nobody else to call type shit. Like, you really don't have a reason to be up there type shit. And then they get into this diatribe. And of course, he starts leaning into the same situation that a lot of the quote unquote, you know, Puerto Ricans and people of Spanish descent, they upset about the documentary about them not having a hand in hip hop. Right? Now, you know, I didn't see the documentary that Tariq Nasheed did. You feel me? I meant to get around and watch it. What is it called? Mike Control, right? I didn't get to see it. So I don't know all of the receipts that they kind of put out there. I don't know. I'm willing to watch. Mic check. But apparently the whatever the receipts are, it's enough to sit niggas down and have people re-examine the story that we were sold. I was sold the story that the Puerto Ricans had something to do with the culmination. That's the story that I was sold. You know what I'm saying? That was the story. That was the story that I was sold, and I believed it. You know what I mean? I didn't have no reason not to believe it because once again, proximity is a motherfucker. We in the Bronx, and we share that borough with Italians. We share it with Puerto Ricans, and this is before the Dominicans came. They come a little bit later, if my memory serves me correct. It's really Puerto Ricans, right? They have a gang called the Young Lords, and they get busy back in the 70s and whatnot. When you see the movie The Warriors, even when you see the movie The Miseducation or The Education of Sonny Carson and whatnot, you'll see them in the movies. They're represented. They was out there scrapping with the blacks. So when you talk about breakdancing, these are 5 elements of hip hop: breakdancing, graffiti, MCing, DJing, and the knowledge. I was seeing them breakdancing, and I was seeing them niggas on a graffiti tip. I wasn't seeing them MCing like that. I wasn't necessarily seeing them DJing too tough in the beginning. And I wasn't seeing them as the teachers. They wasn't really like the knowledge droppers. They wasn't the teachers, right? The teachers would be Farrakhan, Malachi Z. York, Khalid Muhammad, Father Allah. This is the source of knowledge and information and understanding about the black man as God. That was the 5th pillar of hip hop, and those were the teachers that the majority of the people in the earlier days was getting their information sourced from. Okay, Malachi Z. York, right? He was dropping the pamphlets. He was giving niggas the pamphlets, and people, when he was the Ansar Allah community before the Nuwabian shit. So he was the teacher, of course, the 5 percenters, you know what I mean? Of course, Elijah, you know what I'm saying, and all of that. So they wasn't, you know what I mean? They wasn't really the teachers. But I'm willing to, you know, learn more about people's contributions and stuff like that, because at the end of the day, I'm just here for the truth. Whatever the truth is, I'm here for that. You know what I mean? That's just my whole journey and whatnot. Do you know how many perceived truths I had to let go of on this journey, bro? What if I held on to everything, I wouldn't be who I was today. Farrakhan is Caribbean. Yeah, what does that mean? I don't understand. Because that's definitely what I don't want to do. I don't want to sit around and nitpick about, niggas' genealogy and whatnot. What I know is that he was an inspiration for a lot of the people in the streets. You got to remember, this is street culture that we're talking about in the early days. These are gangs. These are hooligans. These are criminals. Not everybody, of course, but when we talk in the late 70s, early 80s and whatnot, people was outside and they was getting into shit. You feel me? Everybody wasn't going to church. Niggas wasn't on some holier, they wasn't on, you know what I mean? They wasn't on that type of time. If you see the pictures of what the Bronx looked like, the mentality matched the fucking background scenery. The mentality matched the scenery. So it was survival mode. You know what I mean? And it was gang for real. It just wasn't Bloods and Crips. It was the Black Spades and a whole bunch of other stuff. So Fat Joe get on the show. He's talking about FBA. He's calling them he said the foundational Black authority, right? Misappropriating, Then he said that they some broke niggas, you know what I mean? And it sounded like the nigga with the ER at the end. And he kind of was very dismissive. And then you got Mav Hoffa and the rest of his crew. They just keying. You feel me? And it's like, since when? And where? Because I've been to plenty barbershops in New York. And I've never been in a barbershop, even in the Bronx, even if it's majority Boricuas in the barbershop. I don't give a fuck who's in there. You're not just going to start talking crazy about the next man. You're not, if a brother is there, he's not going to sit around and let people just talk crazy about the rest of the brothers and whatnot. You know what I mean? Unless, of course, you compromise. You feel me? And that happens in my city. Like, people get compromised because at the end of the day, there's really no demarcation line. It's a lot of mixing and mingling and whatnot. You feel me? New York is different than other places just in terms of how we mix and mingle with other cultures. It's just what it is. You know what I mean? So once he said that and the video went out, the backlash began. The nigga Mav Hoffa took the video down. They trying to backtrack, they trying to retract, and it was like, yo, it's out there now. You got to deal with it. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's get this conversation. Let's set a debate up. Like I said before, I would love to see Lord Jamar and Fat Joe have a debate, because he threw Lord Jamar under the bus as well. And Lord Jamar did a response video. And like I said, this nigga's in a barbecue right now. They cooked them. You know what I mean? Hibachi. You know what I'm talking about? He cooking them. You know what I'm talking about? Cooking. And he ain't cooking them in a negative sense. He's just sitting back, laid back. You know what I mean? Cooking them. He's because the nigga, the Fat Joe said Lord Jamar was the worst artist, was the worst out of the three of Brand Nubian. He was like, Lord Jamar was the wackest. You feel me? But Lord Jamar was like, out of the Digging in the Crates crew, because that's where he comes from, a collective of Diamond D, right? Showbiz AG. These are Bronx legends and whatnot. They have bars. Y'all might not be familiar with them. They have bars. Fat Joe was not the motherfucking he was not the bartender in that collective, bro. He might have been the one with the most laziest bars. And he gets his shining moment in glory when he discovers Big Punisher. Okay, that was the nigga who was really popping. Big Pun. Nobody was taking Fat Joe serious as a rapper up until the Big Pun era. And then even after that, it was like, yo, good looking, son, for bringing this nigga through. Oh, you want to throw in a verse? Go ahead, do your thing. But nobody was checking for Fat Joe But he had a string of successful singles, Lean Back, all of that shit with Remy Ma and the Terror Squad. They were able to brand themselves as some fly ass Puerto Ricans. And I'm sure when the rest of the world seen that shit, they was like, wow, this is different. They got Italians rapping. Because I promise you, a lot of people didn't know what a Puerto Rican was. They didn't even know where to put these people. They didn't know what they was confused outside of New York. You said the Tether Squad. I call it the Terrible Squad because him and Remy Ma, they got to take this L this year. You know what I mean? They both got to take this L. They got big L's on. You know what I'm talking about? They got big L's on their backs for 2024. Yeah, she took an L and my guy took an L, man. You know, niggas is looking at him crazy right now. The Don Cartagena album. Yeah, I'm just saying, like TONY, his shit started getting a little more spicier because rumor has it he had these Ghost Riders. But early Fat Joe, if you pull that shit up to gotta flow, Joe. You gotta flow, Joe. You gotta flow, Joe. No, nigga. No, that wasn't it, bro. No. And you know, I'm gonna keep it with a buck. They was known as being gangsters. You know what I'm saying? You know, Terror Squad was punishing niggas. You feel me? They was punishing dudes. Tony Sunshine. Yeah, Tony Sunshine was nice. And then he fell out with Cuban links, right? They cut Cuban in the face. And I think it was a downward spiral from that point on. I don't know if Pun died before the Cuban link thing, but it's definitely been, you know, spiritual warfare, because these are Puerto Ricans that we talking about. So they deal with spiritual warfare. They fight differently. I'm just here to let you know, in case you don't know, they fight differently. You know what I'm talking about? The same way that if you run into a Haitian and y'all lock up, you're gonna have to fight the Haitian in the physical and in the spiritual realm. You feel me? Because they fight differently. They're gonna put you in a pot. They're gonna put you in a pot. So that's just something that you need to know. Henceforth, why a lot of them in New York was kind of untouched for a very long time. Like you couldn't go to the Washington Heights where they were selling weight and just randomly go and rob one of them. That was not, you couldn't do that. They was working too much juju and whatnot. They would know that you was coming before your ass got there. I promise you. I promise you. They got, like I told you before, they got the African granny in the back somewhere, in the back of the apartment, hidden. They got the abuela, who's darker than me, hidden. And she got jars under her bed, and she got that fucking pot inside of the closet. And yeah, they doing that magic, they doing that work and whatnot. So they heavy on that. And dudes from New York knew you got to be careful if you have problems with them, because they don't fight fair. You know what I mean? But outside of that, the Terror Squad was just known for giving a lot of beatdowns. You know what I mean? Jay-Z and them, the Rockefeller, they got beat down by the Terror Squad. 50 Cent with the G Unit, as strong as they were in their heights, they said that their most formidable foe was Fat Joe and the Terror Squad. So I'm just giving you a highlight as to where the ego in that nigga comes from. You know what I mean? He was a bully back in the days. He was a bully. You feel me? And he struck fear in a lot of people's hearts. I would say in the Bronx, you know what I mean? Mostly, you know, niggas from Brooklyn and all that, they wasn't really studying all of that, you know. It's like niggas bleed just like us. It wasn't, you know what I mean? But they were strong enough to wherever they went, people were respecting the strength, like strength in numbers. So I feel like a lot of that plays into the bravado that he fake has right now, where he think that he could just say nigga, nigga, nigga. And, you know, and once again, nigga with the ER, you feel me? We not feeling that. We don't fuck with that. When you say nigga and it sounds like the nigger, yeah, nigga, what are you talking about? But they do say nigga, the Cardi B's and the Fat Joes and the, you feel me? That shit is like, it's like, you know what I mean? You got the Akis, the niggas that do the chopped cheese. They say, my nigga, what up, my nigga? You know what I mean? Nigga is a New York term. They overdid nigga in New York. I don't know if it's the same with everywhere else, but they've taken nigga and they turn, it's nigga everything in New York. I mean, and out of everybody's mouth. I suspect even the white boys is running around saying nigga, nigga, nigga. You know what I'm saying? But that's just what it is. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. It doesn't, it's not fighting words. It's not, yo, what you said, you know, that's just not how it works out there. But you know, if that's what it, if you know what I mean. But I just feel that he needs to be able to read the room. He's very arrogant, very cocky. I hope that this situation humbles the man. And I promise you, at the end of the day, for everybody that's coming into this culture, like there needs to be a reset on the culture. The culture won in 2024, right? The culture, mostly, I would say, from a hip hop FBA kind of standpoint, I feel like 2024 was represented. Like what Kendrick did on the West Coast when he did that video and he gave you culture, right? In a Squabble Up video, he gave you culture with the whole album and everything, with the car and everything. He's giving you culture, right? That's like the GNX, that's culture. But he also embraced the Mexicans. He also embraced the quote unquote Spanish, the people who you can't leave out of the picture because they're still a part of the picture, meaning that they're still a part of the culture. Puerto Ricans and Dominicans are still a part of our culture. I don't care, you know, that's just how I see it. They still, they may be visitors, but they still part of the culture. What they might not know though is they might not know the history of the culture. That's where the teachers of the culture should be coming in and giving some fucking lessons. We need more orientation. We need more orientations for people that's coming into this culture, whether it's the Arabs, whether it's people from Africa, whether it's the brothers and sisters from the Caribbean, whether it's people from Latin America, wherever they're coming in from, India, they're coming in from all channels, the UK and whatnot. We should be giving them the fifth pillar of hip hop, which is the goddamn knowledge and the consciousness. That's where Black Dot comes in. That's where Professor Griff comes in. That's where Paradise Gray comes in. That's where Minister Server comes in. That's where Red and Blue come in. There's a whole bunch of other people that I could name that are teachers of said culture. That's where Tariq Nasheed will come in with his documentary, Hidden Colors, along with the other documentary. Because if people don't know your history and if they don't know your culture, they only think your culture is selling crack, gang banging, and you know, and robbing and stealing, then they're not going to respect the culture. There's nothing about your culture that's going to be respected when people look at the culture as like a doormat type of culture. It's a means to an end. Whereas this is a dominant culture that's basically gotten a lot of people into a lot of places. And based off of what 2024 has showed me, moving into 2025, we need more ambassadors. Don't let this shit go. The power has gotten wrestled out of the hands of the fuck boys. Okay, it's gonna be a long fight because it's a lot of fuckboy hands on the culture. But the head of this shit basically got chopped off. You know what I mean? In the terms of two, it's a three-headed dragon, and I think two of the heads got chopped off. One of the heads, pause, would be Diddy, right? Because he had a 30-year reign and he was a gatekeeper. Okay. And out of his reign, came a lot of other niggas and whatnot. And another head would be the current leader or the one who was sitting on the throne. That would be Drake. Right? That would be Drake. So the culture has been disrupted. Okay, the culture has been disrupted. The people that used to be in charge are trying to figure out ways to get back in charge before you niggas figure out how to wrestle full control of the culture and get it back. $1 trillion culture, mind you, a multi-billion-dollar culture. You got to figure out a way to get it back and get it back into your favor, to whereas we are reaping the benefits of this quote unquote currency generating culture, right? Because it ain't all about the Benjamins, but god damn it, what we gonna feed these babies? What about the people that got jerked all of these years and whatnot that never seen their worth? Because they signed badass contracts and they were hiding the truth from him. What up, Athletics? You feel me? What about that? So yeah, the culture in 2024 has shifted. It's been a paradigm shifting year. Some of the top albums, right, of this year are not ratchet albums. Okay, even though you might have a few and whatnot. Even Glorilla with her project, she didn't go super ratchet with it. I listened to her whole album. I was riding to that shit. The album is not a ratchet ass album. Okay, she showed growth, right? You got labels folding. Gucci Man, he cut his label. He had to. He threw the whole label away. I believe the CMG under Yo Gotti, they're gonna throw that whole label away in a minute. He can't. I don't think that he wants to sustain that label anymore. He has the rising star in Glorilla. He might sell her off to the highest bidder, but you know, with Big Jook getting killed and whatnot, that label can't sustain itself moving forward. It's not the same anymore. They looking at a Rico. Little Baby, he dissolved 4 Pockets Full, right? He dissolved that shit. He was like, hell to the nah. Fannie Willis ain't about to get me with the Rico. He dissolved that shit and popped up with a boutique label. I don't even know the name of it. It's some moist shit. You know what I mean? Some of the biggest albums this year was pure rap. They were spitting bars. Matter of fact, let's check out this video that I just did, and let's add some context into the thing. Let's pull it up. All right, this is about 11 minutes, so bear with me. They knocked out the old that street shit that was really dominating. Now, when you talk about mainstream, when you talk about the demographics that are a little older than the 18 or the 12 to the 25s and whatnot, you know, then it begins to expand a little bit more. But this year in music, you know, once again, it wasn't necessarily all of that super ignorant, no trap music and stuff like that. This year gave you a lot of good albums, a lot of classic albums. You feel me? And yeah, and here we have it. My good brother Tyler the Creator, that Chromatopia, that was fire. That was a fire album, very artistic, you know, musically, sonically, fire. Lupe Fiasco, he put out a banger. You know what I'm talking about? He put a banger out. Politically, me and him may not see eye to eye on a few things, but there's no denying his artistry. Denzel Curry put out a fire project, wonderful project. Doechii, wonderful project. Gunna, wonderful project. Cardi, The Rollout, fire. J. Cole, wonderful project. And his whole nostalgia thing was dope as well. And of course, Ye, he started the year with the Vultures Volume 1. I didn't listen to Volume 2 like that, but I like the fact that he caught a W in the beginning of the year where he was able to go #1 independently. he was able to uncancel himself because they were saying that because after he said that stuff about the Yahudi's and whatnot, that he was canceled, and he proved that he went #1, so he destroyed that narrative. Then it's not how you start the race, it's how you finish it. He went to China and broke records. He went to China and broke records. You feel me? You know what I mean? He went to China and he put up some numbers and whatnot. So he got his bread up. He did some real cultural iconic shit in China. And yeah, he did what he was supposed to do. So shout out to Ye for that year. And of course, Kendrick, what he did this year was unprecedented. He brought the culture back into a direction that it was currently that it needed to be in. That's all I would say. It needed to be in that direction, and he was able to completely shift the culture into that direction, right? By stepping up and taking on an opponent who many people feared because of his size or his perceived power and whatnot. They were intimidated about going after said opponent. And he basically took up the fight, and he was able to get a W, a profound W. And then he went after others in the industry, not just Drake and whatnot. He said F the whole industry. He folded the whole label. Come on, he got Lil Wayne looking stupid. And let's not forget that the Nicki Minaj was the first one that caught the L on that label. She caught the L, Drake caught the L, and Lil Wayne caught the L. Damn, I think they may. I put QC as the loser label of the year. I think they may come. It might be a tie. It might be a tie because Nicki Minaj caught the L with the diss. Remember, she did a diss track against Megan Thee Stallion in the top of the year, and it was a forgettable diss track because nobody ever talked about it again. That's how bad it was. You feel me? That's how bad it was. You feel me? She dissed Megan Thee Stallion and the shit was so horrible, niggas forgot about it. But she took a L with that diss. And then after that, Drake caught the L. And then after that, Lil Wayne caught the L. Because Lil Wayne caught the L, first of all, he's acting like he didn't even hear Whacked Out Murals. That right there is a fucking lie.
I'll just quickly read them. I know you know them.
Actually, don't.
Okay. My hard work let Lil Wayne down.
And I think he just mean by he saw what everybody else, he saw how much it meant to me. And I think that's all he mean is that, I don't think, and when we speak, and obviously he can't control that. And also I've spoken to him and I wished him all the best and told him he better kill it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So you better kill it.
You listened to that. One. Then he had to apologize. He said, "Oh yeah, I spoke to Kendrick, and he better kill that." I thought you was in the studio recording a response. What happened? You had academics lying on you and whatnot. So at the end of the day, yeah, them niggas took an L, a horrible L. And he got the nigga from Zopound talking about how he robbed them years ago, got him looking real crazy and whatnot. And he turned into a crybaby over the Super Bowl thing. He didn't take that one standing up.
That hurt a lot. You know what I'm talking about? It hurt a whole lot. I blame myself for not being mentally prepared.
Yeah, like what drug is that? That ain't weed. Like that's not coke either. Like what drug is that this nigga be on? I'm just wondering. Inquiring minds want to know. What drug is that? You know what I'm saying? Is that fentanyl? What the fuck is that? What is he on, my niggas?
For a letdown. And for just automatically mentally putting myself in that position like somebody told me that was my position.
He did not take that shit standing up. So he's out here looking, your goat is looking curried right now. Your goat is looking curried. You know what I mean? And one of the great things about this year, we saw an unprecedented resurgence of golden era legacy artists. Ghostface Killer, Common, LL Cool J, Ice Cube, Snoop Doggy Dogg, MC Lyte, Eminem. You feel me? In the 50th/51st year of hip hop, there was a resurgence of golden era artists. Redman as well. I'm gonna put him up there. Okay? And these albums did not sound like ChatGPT made them. And these albums did not sound forced. These albums were slapping. You feel me? These albums were slapping. So I give a big shout out to all of my OG rappers who was like, we not letting these little young whippersnappers intimidate us. So in a year where an artist of the caliber of a Kendrick Lamar is going after Drake and they fighting for the culture, this was a culture war. The OGs came through and stepped up, like in the Avengers when they be having when the backup came, when they was getting their ass whooped, and the backup just popped up and it was all of the other people and whatnot. That's what these rappers are representing. You feel me? Throwing all of these projects and seeing which one is gonna stick and whatnot. I hope that a classic came out of some of these things, some of these projects. You know, these are OGs. Just give us one classic song out of the whole project. Did we get one classic out of the Snoop shit? One? Did we get one classic out of that Rakim album that came out? Just one. We just need one single. You know? Just one. Not one. God damn. Yikes. And the OGs showed their hands. None of them supported Kendrick. Nope. They did not frontline for Kendrick at all. And that was sad. That was sad. They did not frontline for Kendrick, yo. They let that shit happen. It's almost like when you in a schoolyard fighting the big bully and whatnot, and the OGs, instead of saying, yo, clear that shit up, move out of the way, we got you, son. They just looked over to see who was gonna win. And even when he won, they wasn't really there for him. So, you know, they were being pressed this whole time during the reign of Drake. They were getting pushed out, pressed and whatnot. They couldn't have came out like this during the Drake era. The fuck? They couldn't have came out like this in the Drake era. And yes, nah. Yo, real quick, I'm gonna get back to this. Just imagine if Drake would have won the battle. Like, let's put ourselves in a what if world, in a parallel universe. If Drake would have washed up Kenny, then Little Baby would have dropped, Young Thug would have dropped from inside of jail. All of the booty popping music would have popped off. Like Nicki Minaj would have dropped a deluxe. You really get to see who was in charge and who was gatekeeping and who was controlling the frequency. That's why I say that a head of the snake got cut off with Drake's defeat. You feel me? That's why I say that, because you clearly can see that a whole lane got opened up with Drake's defeat. And this nigga keep defeating himself. We're going to talk about that in a minute. He's on a roll right now. He's just catching L after L. Was the one who set all of this up with the King series. He's the one that blew the horn and let the OGs know you could still eat. You could still eat. There's still food on the table. Yeah, Jack. There's a world. There's a parallel universe where Kamala and Drake won. There's literally a parallel universe where Drake won the battle and Kamala turned all of the swing states to blue. That's a fact. You know what I'm saying? But not in this world, not on this timeline, my niggas. You know what I'm talking about? Not here. There is no limit to this shit. Yeah, I don't know what 50 Cent is doing. I don't know what the hell 50 Cent is out here doing. He looking real coonish though. I'll tell you that much. We gonna sit his ass down with Fat Joe somewhere. You know what I'm talking about? Him and Fat Joe need to go on tour together. Them niggas is, they moving wacky at the same time. So I promise you, if anybody is gonna say something crazy about FBA from the black community, it's gonna be 50 Cent. Mark my word. Mark my word. If there's gonna be one person that's gonna say some real stupid shit, it's gonna be him, because he don't play along. He don't play along with the politics. His ego is crazy. He do not play along with the politics of our people. Henceforth, why he immediately jumped on a show with Andrew Schultz. When Andrew Schultz was getting canceled, 50 Cent goes and sit down and does a podcast with Andrew Schultz for like 3 hours. That's why I say the whole podcast shit is finished, because it was underneath something called a black effect, that Charlemagne's conglomerate and whatnot. All of them shows is trash. You feel me? After Kamala lost and all of the people that was attached to her, they all should have got taken out in the back and just headshots. You know what I'm saying? Like, all of that shit died with her. It's just still lingering a little bit, but the aura is gone, like the young folks say. The aura is gone. You feel me? The aura is gone. You know what I mean? Everybody attached to all of that shit is finito. So 2025, we don't even need to be looking at nobody in the music industry no more, because I think that they all cooked and whatnot. So you glad that Trump won? I'm glad that she didn't win. You feel me? I'm glad that she didn't win. I told people before, I like my racism up front. You know, I want to get this shit going. I want to get it going. Like, I don't want to sit around and waste time. We have a destiny to reach and whatnot. And whatever that destiny is going to happen underneath this authoritative Christo-fascist nation that is about to happen. You feel me? I didn't sign up to sit around and do YouTubes all my life and just play around and whatnot. That's not what I'm here for. I'm here to do the work and whatnot. And how the fuck can you do the work if there's no work to be done? Because the Kamala shit represented pure fuckery on a whole nother level. Not because the Trump shit is fuckery, right? But on another level. Her shit was just, it just reminds me of Drake. You know what I mean? Niggas twerking. You know what I mean? That type of energy. I'm not with none of that. If I don't respect anything about the whole Trump wave, I respect masculinity coming back. The fact that he's like, nah, we ain't with none of the fuckery. We not doing none of that funny guy shit. I'm old school. I'm sorry. You know what I mean? I'm old school. I just come from a different cloth and whatnot. You know what I mean? I don't want to offend anybody, but we come from the dirt. You know what I'm saying? Like, I respect balance. I respect balance. I respect discipline. I respect morals and values. That's what I live for. You feel me? I'm with all of that. Everybody has a place in this world, but don't put what the fuck is going on in my face. Don't put it in my face. That's all I'm saying. You could twerk in peace, but until if I go to see where you at twerking, then I went into your establishment. Y'all should not come outside and twerk on people's cars and whatnot. You stay in there. You know what I mean? There's a place and a time for all of that. It's inside of that building called Magic City. If I go inside of your place of business, then I'm in your venue and whatnot. But people, they took that shit outside. You got people reading books to children, cross-dressing, playing with dildos. That's not healthy. You know what I mean? These children and whatnot, they you hear them talking about they about to take the teachings out of the school, and they about to do away with history and all of that. Listen. This is where it's gonna come to the culture to teach the fucking people that are in the culture. We can't expect no gooish teachers to teach our children about their history. We can't expect no colonizers to teach us about their colonizing ways. We can't expect colonizers and the real aliens, who are the Europeans who came over in them boats in the 1700s. We can't expect them to give up the motherfucking secrets about the shit that they are hiding. We can't expect that. That's just gonna have to fall on the shoulders of either the parents, or the parents is gonna have to break bread and pay the teachers to teach their kids all day. So that's what it is. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, the Kamala woman, she wasn't elected. She was selected. She didn't have what it takes. You know what I mean? She had no personality, and she got boxed out by somebody who got more swag than her. A nigga like 80 years old. He swagged her out. You know what I'm talking about? So what are we talking about? Now, you are getting, if you're paying attention, because there's a civil war brewing right now in Trump's America. So you are getting a front seat, quote unquote, view on what the future in America holds with Donald Trump and his base, right? And how his base is, it's already fragmented. It's already fragmented. They're going after Elon Musk like how niggas is going after Fat Joe. Okay? What I would call the FWAs, Foundational White Americans, right? The rednecks, the blue bloods, the WASP, right? The WASP, white Anglo-Saxon Protestants. Okay? They going after Elon Musk and the Indian nigga called Vivek. This is a war taking place. A civil war has kicked off, right? And they are on Twitter, aka X, going stupid belligerent. I'm talking about they talking crazy about Indians. Now, mind you, Kamala is an Indian, but no Indian claimed her, right? Indians in America, or at the top, Indians in America is the top racial group per capita, right? GDP and whatnot. The Indian Americans are above white folks, right? They're above crackers and whatnot. They're above Europeans. They have accumulated more wealth. And, that's the hotel industry. There's your doctors. These niggas own gas stations. Whatever they doing in America, they running up a bag, right? So, of course, the blue-blooded Americans, they're like, yeah, into all of that. You know what I mean? You know, they're in Silicon Valley when it comes to technology. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to technology, it's the Indians. That you gotta deal with the Indians. You feel me? You gotta deal with the Indians. You dig? So whatever they doing it. And the white Anglo-Saxon Protestant, the Europeans and whatnot, from the white trailer trash all the way up to Steve Bannon and them, they don't like that. And you said the stream is glitching? Oh yeah? I got my Twitch on. I didn't know that this was twitching and tweaking. What the hell is going on? It looks fine where I'm at. I'm even looking at it on my phone and whatnot. What's twitching? What's tweaking about it? Let me know so I could try to fix it. Hotels and smoke. Yeah, them niggas, every smoke shop in Atlanta. How did they get into the weed game? They run in the smoke shops. They run in the hotels. They run in the gas stations. You feel me? They run in with a lot of things. So and you know, it's the Patels, the last name Patel. Now Trump appointed an Indian to run the FBI. Remember we talked about that a few weeks ago, right? Crazy looking ass Indian. You know what I'm talking about? Crazy ass looking Indian and whatnot. And then he got the guy Vivek, whatever his name is. You know, so what they're arguing about is these visas called H-1B visas. Now, keep in mind, Elon Musk is an African American. He's from South Africa. He's a Boer, right? So he's been able to come over here on a visa and do what it is that he's doing. So with the MAGAs are trying to do away with the H-1B, and they're like, nah, we're gonna give this job to Americans. Even Stephen Bannon is like, yeah, we want to give this job to Latinos and blacks. You know what I mean? We want to take it out of the hands of all of these Indians, you know, and Elon Musk, you could go F yourself. And he said that he's ready to go to war on this issue. This is something that he's not going to back down on it. And then to make Donald Trump sided with Elon Musk just to add more flames to where people is like, yo, who is really in charge? Who is really in charge? Okay. The program is particularly favored by Silicon Valley, and critics using some racist language pointed out that many of the tech workers are from India. Musk and fellow Department of Government Efficiency co-head Vivek, I don't know how to say his last name, eventually chimed in and defended H-1B visas, which allow up to some 65,000 guest workers into the U.S. The tech bros contended that H-1B visas are crucial to the U.S. attracting top-tier talent for the development of cutting-edge technologies such as AI, and that it has been a boom for the economy. On the other side, immigration hardliners argued that the program was effectively indentured servitude, trapping foreigners at certain companies due to their desire to stay in the U.S., and that companies were exploiting the system for cheaper labor. I'm going to go on a limb and say that is not going to change in Trump's America. I'm going to go on a limb to say they're not going to disrupt that. You understand? They're not going to disrupt that. That's not, Trump is the businessman as a president. He's not the president as a businessman. They are not going to disrupt that. They're going to keep that shit right. They're just not going to let Africans and other people in on that visa, but they're going to get in bed with India in this next 4 years. And Stephen Bannon and all of these other people, they're just going to turn into these quote unquote Trump critics, and they're going to kind of like fall on the bad side of Trump. And you know what he does to his detractors, and you know what he does. Those people are not in power like Elon Musk is. So whatever Elon says right now, until them two fall out, whatever Elon said goes. You think they're gonna turn down the slave labor, nigga? Trump wants cheap labor. The fuck? He ain't trying to pay you niggas. I mean, it's in the writing, right? You know what I mean? So they going at it. The Indian niggas getting his nigga wake up call. You know what I mean? The Asians and everything. Everybody that think that these white folks is feeling them, they like, nah, you a munch. We're not feeling you. They getting a wake up call. Okay, they getting a wake up call. But these people are so indoctrinated in Western culture that it doesn't even matter to them. Matter to them. They're gonna take that one on the chin. They are used to being depreciated in America. It's all good. The money is good. They're not good. It's okay. You could talk crazy. You could. The money is good. The money is better than fucking India. So they're not gonna say much. They're not gonna say much. You're not gonna see no pushback from these quote unquote buffer classes. They're just gonna grin. And you know, they're gonna go along with it. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna go along with it. You know, they're gonna go along with it. But yeah, that's what's going on the Republican side. That the Civil War already has. I thought that it was gonna be a while before the shit even. You know what I mean? It ain't. No, it ain't. It ain't take no time. It didn't take no time. You know, it didn't take no time. So we'll pay attention to what comes out of that and whatnot. We'll keep you updated. You feel me? But you know, white folks is gonna be, you know, the crackers is gonna be crackers. Like I'm saying, I like shit like that. You know what I mean? Cause I'm red pill. You know what I mean? I'm not kumbaya. We should all get along. I'm not trying to sit on the lap of no white folks. I'm just not that person. I want them to show their fangs. I want them to pop their shit. You know what I mean? Show your hands. You don't get that in a Democratic run type of situation. Them people will lie to you with a smile on their face and stab you with a sword when you turn around. The liberals, the Democrats, all of these people that have the illusion of inclusion and put our people to sleep. I'm talking about the level of sleep that they put our people under. It doesn't even. It's crazy. It's crazy. No, show me how you feel so I know how to deal with you. Okay? Because I have levels of how I deal with people. Just show me where you at with it so I know how to deal with you. That's the type of America that I like. You know what I mean? That's making America great again for me. Don't hide, don't front, don't wear a mask and whatnot. Be for real with your shit. You know what I mean? And we'll be able to assess how to deal with it. So yeah, you know, and don't take nothing personal because it's not personal. It's really truly all business. Don't take nothing personal. It's all business. My $1 million question is, when melanated people see how these people are acting up, when melanated people see how these people are carrying themselves, will you use that as an impetus to begin to quote unquote move as a unit? Or will you fold and basically become a traitor and join the ops? You know what I mean? As a useless, you know, because it's groveling Negroes. You're going to see a lot of that in the next 4 years too. People are going to switch sides. They're going to come on their knees and whatnot. And they're going to crawl over to these white folks, you know, and let them coddle them, you know, and let them coddle them, you know. That's what you're going to see. And I don't want to see no stupid, that shit will turn my stomach. I'm not even here for that. But it's gonna happen. So whatever. So going back to what we were talking about earlier, and I don't mean to hawking on this stuff, but you know, we are cultural connoisseurs. We do have to keep up with certain things. I said on the last show, right? I believe it was on Third Eye Thursdays. I said Drake is about to put himself further down the rabbit hole. He's about to exclude himself. I said that Drake is going to become a streamer, right? Because he is jealous, right, of the influence and the social value that the streamers have built up, and it culminated in 2024. They've been doing this for a minute. The streamers didn't come out of nowhere. When I say streamers, I'm talking about Kai Cenat, I'm talking about AMP, I'm talking about Duke Dennis, I'm talking about Aiden Ross, all of those characters. I told the family, I said, this nigga's gonna give up hip hop. He got beat out of his hip hop clothes. Remember, Aubrey Graham is the person, Drake is the brand, right? Aubrey Graham is the person, and Drake is the brand. So he's ready to retire that brand as a rapper and move into different places. Aubrey Graham is ready to move into acting, and Aubrey Graham is ready to move into streaming and whatnot. And his last two takes at being a streamer have failed horribly. Now, keep in mind, when we talk about streamers, I always have to preface 12-year-olds to 25-year-olds. Okay, 12-year-olds to 25-year-olds, which is the preferred demographics, right? For marketers, okay? That is the coveted demographic that people and corporations sell to, okay? 12 to 25s. So he knows, A minors, right? He knows that he has a better chance of persuading, right, these young impressionable children with the perception of his power or his wealth and things of that nature, or just his aura, right? He knows that he probably can sway the Gen Zers or the Generation Alpha more so than he could sway the Gen Xers and the people that's kind of like caught on to the fucking character and the act that he was putting on. He's like, I'm done with them. That I've already been exposed in that world. I'm going after the youth. Okay. So, you know, he's taking Diddy's place. So he was on stream with Aiden Ross, who, for anybody in the audience and not familiar with Aiden Ross is accredited as a streamer for beginning to do these collabs with the rappers, right? Aiden Ross, all of these streamers have origin stories where they all started from YouTube, you know, playing video games. Then they started doing pranks. Then they started doing, you know, IRL content. Then they started doing these appearances with the rappers, right? So one of the things about the rappers that I want to explain why the streaming thing is so important to them is because you see how I'm kicking it, like we could just chill, you know, I'm on a live, I'm telling you, you know, I'm being personal with you, you know what I'm saying? I'm speaking on things, you know, we just kicking it and whatnot, right? That helps to build. It's like, yo, Red got a personality, right? I'm able to connect with people through that. That's not what the rappers do. You understand? Rappers are not known for being personable, right? So when I do a stream and I share the stage with another content creator, be it Blue Pillar, Brother Rich, whoever I'm sharing the stage with, you know, you get to see a collaboration and whatnot, right? So I'm introduced to a new audience, and then that person is introduced to my audience. Boom. the rappers up to the last, maybe I would say 2020, right? Because Tory Lanez had, you know, it was Tory Lanez with Aiden Ross. That was memorable. Offset with Cassinet, that was memorable. Little, you know, all of the rappers are now getting with the streamers because the streamers have the audience that's gonna buy their album, that's gonna stream their albums. You feel me? That's going to quote unquote be all in the comments and everything. You know what I'm saying? And the word of mouth on the youth is crazier than the word of mouth on the adults. So if you get lit in the 12 to 25 world, you have a chance to go uber platinum. You know? Uber platinum. So the record labels are telling the artists, forget radio, forget podcasts, forget going on a whole run and whatnot where we got to pay for radio. You sitting down with Steve Harvey and these old niggas. Nah, you're going to sit with Kai Cenat. You're going to sit with Aiden Ross. You're going to sit with I Show Speed and whatnot. You feel me? You're going to go and play video games with them, smoke some weed, eat some food, and just be personable. Everybody can't do that because all of these artists don't have personalities and whatnot. But for the ones who do have personalities, look, Kai Cenat brought Kevin Hart back from basic. Kevin Hart was finished after what Cat Williams did to him. Kevin Hart was a meme. Niggas wasn't trying to. Kevin Hart was losing. He lost credibility after Cat Williams got on his ass. You know what I'm saying? And he brought that nigga back to life. He made Kevin Hart Unc. Kevin Hart is the Unc of the little niggas right now. You know? Yes, so they're using streaming as a press run. So what took place though in that quote unquote, because it's still like, you know, it's like, all right, it's what the labels did was a bargain. But what they didn't realize is that the streamers was going to become more bigger and more influential and a little more powerful than the rappers. And that's exactly what has happened. The quote unquote, the streamers are now influential, more influential. They got more motion. They have more influence. They're even getting more money than the average rapper. Yeah, he's the uncle of the little niggas. He's the uncle of the little niggas. Kevin Hart he's busting in that world. You got to remember, they don't care about what the fuck Cat Williams is talking about, the 12 to 25-year-olds. They don't care about that shit, bro. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't have the same appeal as it do to niggas who grew up watching Kevin Hart and y'all taking it personal about rumors. You feel me? They're not going to move off of rumors. You know, that's something that you old niggas like to do. But they're not moving like that. They're going to rock with you if you funny. They're going to rock with you if you can make them laugh. They're going to rock with you if you could he's relatable. He's short like them. This nigga Kevin Hart is short like little niggas. He's relatable. So the streamers have a lot of power, and Aubrey Graham, aka Drake, right? Who loves to cipher, he feeds off of people that are lit. He feeds off of energy. He feeds off of auras and whatnot. He's seeing this world coming about, and he's like, nah, I want to be a part of that world. You know, they don't like Kendrick that much over there anyway. I think I could set up shop and just live over here. But they like, nah, we good. Cause every stream that he's on, they bombing that nigga. They like, get up out of here. They bombing Drake. They calling him out. They on the stream killing him. You feel me? They on the stream killing them. You dig? So he's trying to run somewhere and he don't have nowhere to run. He's trying to run away from hip hop into the streaming world, and it's too late. He can't even run over there because he don't have the aura anymore. You know, when he said your superpowers are being neutralized, when he shows up on camera these days, he don't have the same aura anymore. And that's what the kids are looking for. They have this thing about aura. You know, they got this thing about aura. And, you know, if you got that aura, then they get attached. You know what I'm saying? But if you don't got that aura and you look like something is wrong and you're not your former self, then they're going to call that shit out. Like, nah, get him up out of here. Yeah, his accents is getting crazier. He brought his mother on the stream. Come on, fam. How desperate are you? He brought his mama. What's her name? He brought his mama on the stream. Like, you don't bring your mama on the stream, fam. It's not even your stream. You know what I mean? Then he did something called a Drizmas after Christmas. That's just some real Canadian shit. Imagine me doing a Christmas giveaway after Christmas. Nigga, it's over with. What are you talking about? That's like having a Thanksgiving dinner a week after Thanksgiving. You just late to everything, bro. Like, what can I say? It's just the crash out. You know what I mean? It's the shit Kendrick hit him, like the Kung Fu Kenny hit him with the 100 step killer. You know, in the Kung Fu flips, they would hit you, then you walk 100 steps and then you die. Like they got that in the anime. That's what he got hit with. He got hit with the 100 steps. And you just seeing the crash out in real time. Every single move after that battle has been a misstep. And I don't mean to be his greatest critic and whatnot, because I'm far from that. But I have to observe what I'm seeing, because this is the biggest artist, or was the biggest artist in the whole world. You know, in 2024 is the year that his empire came crashing down. Your reign on the top was short like leprechauns. I mean, he's been on the top for what, 15 years? You know? And I'm gonna go out on a limb to say I don't even want Kendrick Lamar on the top. I don't aspire, because Kendrick Lamar is a great artist. He's the harbinger, though. I would say that the Messiah was Nipsey. And you niggas and the Crips killed him. That's the Messiah. Nipsey was the Messiah. If you were to ask me, I would say Nipsey was the Messiah, and Kendrick is like John the Baptist, you know? But I don't think that he wants to run the game. I don't think that he wants to sit on the top like that. I really don't think that. I think that he's comfortable putting in work and doing what he does and being a artist and whatnot. But I think he's a little too invested in his personal spiritual journey to basically carry this whole game on his shoulders. That's a lot of fucking weight, bro. That's a lot of weight. You know? You said, why did they kill Nipsey? Probably because he was the Messiah. Look, I'm going to just say it like this. Nipsey gave niggas the blueprint on how to become billionaires. Not just millionaires, billionaires. With the Bitcoin in 2017 and 2016. Nipsey was different. He gave the blueprint for everybody to get rich. He gave niggas the blueprint to play the game and to be neck and neck with the Indians that are taking over Silicon Valley type shit. Like, he was talking about blockchain. He was talking about smart this, smart that. He was talking about cryptocurrency. He was the Messiah. He was the one that was going to get niggas rich and whatnot. Because if he was alive in 2020, he would have been able to point people in a direction on how to get busy with their PPP loans and them checks and whatnot, and what to really buy in terms of cryptocurrency. And he was bringing you the game on how to be healthy with the Dr. Sebi shit. Like, I got love for Kendrick Lamar. I fucks with Kendrick Lamar. I salute him for the work that he put in and whatnot, because somebody had to do it. If he didn't do it, I don't see nobody else that could have did it. He's the assassin. He's the boogeyman, but he's not the one. He's not the Neo. He's not the Neo. And remember, they were existing at the same time and whatnot. They were coexisting. I would say that Kendrick became more spiritual, more conscious when Nipsey was showing the motherfucking walk. Because Kendrick wasn't always on the path that he's on. He became more on his path when he saw Nipsey on his path. So if Nipsey was alive, he would have been bringing you the information on healthy living. He would have been a conduit for that. He would have been a conduit for wealth. He would have been a conduit for growth and development. He has his business mind is more advanced than any of these other rappers that I've seen outside of, I would say, a Nas. But Nas, he doesn't share the information about investing and stuff like that. He doesn't speak on that in the public. That's not what he leads with. This is what Kendrick would. This is what Nipsey was leading with. Yeah, the Dr. Sebi documentary, that would have been just the first of many documentaries, I'm sure. You feel me? That's just the first of many documentaries. That would have been the beginning of it, but he would have kept that shit moving. He would have kept it going. When C-19 would have came, he would have been helping people stay alive with natural remedies. He would have became the go-to person. Yo, what does Nipsey think? Let's do an interview with Nipsey on the podcast. Let's ask him all of these things. When Ethereum came out and when it first came out in 2020, he would have told people, yo, get Ethereum. This is what it's about. You need to invest in that. All of these people that got money, these rappers. Now look at it. Nobody got no Bitcoins. Nobody got no fucking Bitcoins. Because if they had Bitcoins, you would hear niggas talking like they got Bitcoins. Bitcoins make you talk a certain type of way. Niggas didn't listen to Nip, bro. They didn't listen to him. They didn't listen to him. You feel me? They did not listen to him. And unfortunately, you know, he left the way that he left and whatnot. But, you know, I don't see nobody coming out of the hip hop game that had more potential than him. Just in terms of what he represented, he was balanced. He wasn't no square ass nigga. He wasn't no Poindexter where nobody would want to listen to him. He had an aura to him. His aura was building up. You know what I mean? His aura was building up. He was in his bag. You feel me? He was in his bag. You said Money Man and J Money from Atlanta before Nipsey was rapping about it. Is that right? Nipsey been in the game since 06. Yeah, Blue Pill started out with Nipsey. He was working his project back in the days with Sony. You know? Yeah, I don't know what y'all. I heard Nip talking about Bitcoin before anybody else. I'm just saying. But that's I'm just putting context to things. I'm just adding some context. You know what I mean? It is what it is. Even when I talk about that shit, it just makes me very upset. You know, I want to visit the alternative universe where that nigga didn't kill him and he probably was able to get up out of there. You know, Lauren London, the day he was going to go to the store that he died, Lauren London kept him in the crib with a little extra, you know what I mean? A little extracurricular activity and whatnot, slowed him down. You know? But when he made transition, that was a paradigm shift in the whole culture. I went to LA so I could see it firsthand, and I'm here to let you know that that was a shift. And it once it's almost like when an earthquake, when they have a tectonic plates are shifting, it don't shift back. Once it shifts, it's shifted forever. So his shift was a shift forever. And I was like, yo, if if this shit was coming out of the West, then there has to be somebody else coming out of the West that represents either the same energy or energy more powerful and whatnot. And here you have it, Kendrick stepping up, doing what he's doing, doing what he's doing. You know, doing what he's doing, taking the initiative to march, right? And to take down what he identified was a cancer to the culture. Feel me? He was like, yo, I'm identifying the cancer in the culture. And in the way that I promise you that it was a cancer in the culture, because like I said earlier, if Drake would have beat Kendrick, all of this chick right here, she would have been popping out doing more shit. You would have had a whole bunch of fuckery flooding the quote unquote game. You would have had a whole bunch of fuckery popping out because that energy was inviting. Drake created a energy. He created an environment. He created a culture, right? Where anything goes. Anything goes, right? Is the cancer gone? It's not gone. It's not gone. It is not gone. You know? It's not gone. She would have had a double album to drop. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Do you think he'll go into the Hebrew bag? I don't think he'll be going into the Hebrew. Yeah, he created bad bitch energy. He's a sassy, aggressive, wearing fingernails and everything. He definitely created bad bitch energy. You know, now city girls are down 1,000. Little Miami, young Miami said she wanna start a family, and she got 2 kids. Like, what the fuck? You know what? City girls is down 100,000. Okay. Young Miami said that she wanted to start a family. She tapped out. You know what I mean? She tapped out. You know, it's over. So if y'all trying to carry that shit, just know that your leader is defeated. You know what I'm saying? Your leader got defeated, bro. She's finished. She's tapped out. You know? What's left to do? You said she was just with Diddy. I mean, maybe Travis Hunter might want her. I don't know. She gonna have to find her a gullible nigga. But I promise you, niggas is in her DMs with the pictures. You know what I mean? Trying to get chosen. You dig? You know what I mean? She invited a whole bunch of thirsties. Every nigga from Africa, because you know that the African niggas is taking your women, right? Yeah, all of them African niggas is in her DM. Burna Boy and all of them. Yeah, they like, my sister. I will bring you to Nigeria and give you a family. I don't care how many children you have. I take care of children. I come my send flight. I send PJ for you. You know what I mean? The Nigerians is on her. You feel me? She's a flex in Africa. You know? But yeah, man, the game is the game. Yeah, the game is man, I can't say it enough. 2024 is a pivotal year. You know? 2024 is a paradigm shifting year. And so many things have taken place And then so many things are being set up for 2025. You know what I mean? It's not gonna, it's this just the beginning. Keep in mind, 4-year increments. 2024, 2020, right? 2020 was a pivotal year. 2016 was a pivotal year. 2012 was a pivotal year, right? So these are portal years. These are paradigm shifting years where shit changes to the point where it don't go back to what it was. It shifts, right? When you have a shift, you have a change and whatnot. So 2028 is be the next pivotal shifting year and whatnot. 2028. Okay. So we're looking at 2028, but definitely 2025, 6 and 7, leading up to 2028 and whatnot. A lot of the things that were done this year is going to affect the next 4 years, leading up to the transitional year of 2028, which is going to be another paradigm shift. You know what I'm saying? That'll be more than likely the next election. Okay, that'll be the next term, whether it's Trump as emperor or somebody comes up to defeat him, which I really doubt, because the Democrat Party was one of the top L's. They were one of the top losers of 2024. I haven't seen a political party fall and die in front of me the way that I saw the Democrat Party. The medical industry is dead. Media is dead. So many things died in 2024 that we're going to be covering on Monday. I'm going to be able to flesh it out and whatnot. But the killing of the CEO from United Healthcare, that was just a symbolic gesture to show you that that whole shit is over with. The medical industry is finished. People do not fuck with healthcare. They don't fuck with the health industry. They don't trust them. That whole Fauci thing, people with this post, you know, everybody getting jacked up because of the Jabberwocky and whatnot. They're done with it. The American public has turned their backs. They say eat the rich type shit, right? The media lost in the election. The media lost in this quote unquote last quote unquote hoorah. This was their last hoorah. MSNBC, CNN. No, they're done. They hold no weight, only for the elders to be watching that shit. You know what I mean? Shout out to y'all. Like the baby boomers and whatnot. And some people from my generation. They the ones that are still caught up in the fucking mainstream media. But the younger ones, the Gen X's that go to Reddit and everything, the ones who know how to research, they are not fucking with no goddamn media anymore. Maybe social media, maybe they on YouTube, Rumble, and other places watching that type of content, right? Podcasts, you feel me? The white boy podcast, like I said, the black nigga, the Chitlin Circuit podcast that died in 2024 because that was attached to Kamala. That's a dead dog. That's a dead dog. What's that experiment with the dead cat? That's a dead dog. You know what I mean? All of that fake ass Charlemagne shit, the black effect, him trying to pivot and everything. He trying to jump on the Trump wagon. It's done. All of that is done. Hollywood in the entertainment industry, Cat Williams set up the quote unquote trigger. He put the grenades and the landmines out, and boom, that shit got blown to smithereens. The entertainment industry, they lost the election too. They lost. Remember when that ship sunk, the Democratic ship, when that Titanic went down, everybody that was attached to it went down as well. Everybody that was attached to it died as well. They might not die right. They might not die immediately. Yeah, that cat. They might not die immediately, but they're dying. We got to know the difference when something is growing and we got to know the difference. Entropy. We got to know when shit is dying off, and when, you know, because they're gonna still do the shows. They're gonna still have on all of the glitterati and everything. They're gonna, you know what I mean? They're gonna do all of that. But the credibility is gone. The core viewership is gone. The integrity is gone. Yeah, even Disney Channel is hanging up the fucking they cutting the Sesame Street is gone. Disney Channel is gone. Celebrity is dying. It's dying. They don't have the same appeal. Niggas wouldn't be on Fat Joe's ass like this 5 years. Pause. 5 years ago. Pause. 10 years ago. They would not be on his tail like this. They wouldn't be cooking them the way that they cooking them. Diddy, Jay-Z, even Beyonce is getting cooked right now. They looking for a new Beyonce. Tell me I'm lying. You know? They looking for a new Beyonce. They lost faith in the queen. Celebrity is dying. You know what I mean? They're not able to even sell products anymore. She came out with a goddamn hair shampoo. She came out with some fucking gin. She came out with a whole bunch of shit, and none of that shit sold. Beyonce, that is. You know? If streaming is booming, is pre-recorded videos dying? Nah, because I literally was going to ask the audience that's watching today, I was going to say, yo, question. On my YouTube feed, there's the occasion, there's of course Black Magic, Urban X. These are the channels that go live, right? These are live stream channels. But when I sat back and I looked at it, the majority of the videos that I'm watching are all uploads, what they call video on demand, right? I'm not really tapped into live video on YouTube like that. Like that era of everybody being live, I don't see that anymore. You know, there's definitely the marquee channels, but there's not a lot of new channels that are popping up where niggas is going live. Like Academics kind of hogged that whole, this nigga goes live for like 6 hours and he's talking about all of the stories that a regular reporter will want to talk about. You know what I mean? He needs to get the fuck up out of here. This is the year that he died too. This is the year that he's done. He's finished. Watch and see. He's finished. He's finito. His sun is setting and whatnot. We are watching the modern day Roman Empire crumble. Yeah, we did the Win in Rome earlier this year and whatnot. You feel me? We did the Win in Rome to kind of point that out. You know what I mean? Sexy red lip gloss. You feel me? Like that's the best thing that they got to offer our people is the gonorrhea lip gloss and the yellow discharge lip gloss. You feel me? Like, what are we talking about? 2025 2025, the Diddy tapes are gonna leak. So you're gonna move from speculation to whereas you are going to see your actual celebrities in action. That's what you're gonna see in 2025. Somebody's gonna either leak the tapes or something is gonna come out where you're gonna be able to see the same way that the Diddy tape got leaked with him beating up Cassie, and that changed the public perception of him. Well, them tapes about to come out. Niggas is out here getting baptized. LeBron is out here taking a leave of absence. Hey, everybody is backpedaling. They said that they in Hollywood selling them tapes to the highest bidder. You know? So when idols turn into rivals, you know, we just got to get off of that personality worship. This is dealing with Pluto in Aquarius. We're just in a new timeline. We're just in a new zone right now. It's just something that we should really keep that on your frontal lobe. Keep that on your frontal lobe. Everybody trying to find Jesus now. Charles Dolan has died, as well as the pioneer of whom so-called founded HBO and AMC. See, come on now. Come on now. So now the oldest living president just died. Jimmy Carter, the peanut farmer from Georgia, right? Jimmy Carter, the peanut farmer from Georgia. This nigga was 100 years old. This nigga was 100 years old. And he was like, yo, I want to live long enough to see who's going to become president. I don't know if he wanted Trump to be president, or I don't know if he thought that Kamala was finna be president. But he stuck around long enough to see what the deal was. And he was like, I'm out of here. I'm out of here. And it's going to be interesting because once again, you'll be able to see at the funeral how this shit is all a game. Because whenever a president dies, all of the former presidents got to get together. You feel me? So unless they passing out letters again, like how they did at the Bush funeral, you'll begin to see how these motherfuckers is all on the same team and whatnot, playing on the same team. It's all theater, you know, at the highest level. It's Shakespeare, you know. You said Charles Dolan owns mountains. Wait, you could own a mountain? What the hell? Niggas is owning mountains in these Americas? Yeah, definitely Papoose for the W. You know what I'm talking about? He's definitely Papoose for the W. So one other thing that I wanted to speak on that is very disturbing, and I really don't. The brother who they beat to death, who was locked up. Now, you know, if you're any fan of this show, if you've been following me, you know, I speak on many aspects of life. You feel me? I speak on many aspects of life, from being free to being incarcerated, or what we call buried alive. You know, I try to speak for some of the people who are forgotten, because I don't necessarily hear conscious teachers and scholars speak about our brothers and sisters who are behind the wall, you know, those that are trying to change their ways. I'm not speaking for the pieces of shit who, you know, I don't cap for nobody who doesn't have a redemption arc. I'm not capping for nobody who's just a straight up piece of shit criminal and a drag to society. I'm speaking for the political prisoners. I'm speaking for the people who are being wronged. I'm speaking for the brothers and sisters who under Joe Biden's crime bill got time that they really didn't deserve. I'm speaking for some of the fathers that y'all didn't have in y'all lives because they was on a chain gang, the uncles, the brothers, and the mothers and the aunties. I'm speaking for them. I'm speaking for the people who used to write me. I had a P.O. box and I would get letters from behind the wall, and they were very excited, you know, about the work that we were doing, because it wasn't necessarily seen at that time. It was something that was very brand new to people who were incarcerated, to see brothers in Harlem on 125th Street dropping the knowledge like that and speaking freely. It made a lot of people change their ways and want to get right with their maker, right? Because I promise you, never before ever has there ever been a time that I remember with so many people coming home speaking positivity into the atmosphere. I don't remember that. I remember niggas coming home and was like, yo, give me the work, give me the blicky. I'm ready to get it. But you got mad people coming home talking about they want to change their community. They want to clean their karma up. They want to atone for their crimes. They want to teach the youth on how not to be in these predicaments. So I just say all of that to say, when I saw the video and it was all on people's, it went viral and whatnot, where 13 police officers, okay, I don't know for my gematria, all of my numerology people, but they literally did this, brother. It's a video. It's one of those other, like, don't watch the video with the woman getting set on fire, and don't watch the video with them beating this boy, because they got it on a body cam and they released it on purpose, right? They released it on purpose, right? Because like I said, there's been a lot of fuck shit in the last week or two where they are literally programming a lot of people with all of these videos. Robert Brooks, don't watch it. I'll tell you about it, but don't watch it, because once again, you eat with your eyes. You don't want to see certain things take place, especially if you may not have power to do anything about it. Right? Unfortunately, one of the unfortunate things moving into this Trump administration as we move forward is the law enforcement, right? The people who have a true nigga gripe, they're going to become more abrasive. You understand? They're going to violate people's rights more so than they have been doing before, right? They're going to be trying to get away with a lot of things and whatnot. That's you know, that's just what spirit is telling me and whatnot. So one, we got to make sure that we don't put ourselves in no situation where we get buried alive ever. Okay? Ever. We cannot place ourselves in the belly of their beast and whatnot. And I'm not saying that people are out here trying to get jammed up and whatnot, but you know, you want to keep that in mind. You want to keep that in mind. You want to try to avoid getting jammed up as much as possible, because you don't want to be inside of these people's quote unquote insane asylum. You know? You said your 12-year marriage died too. Man, a lot of relationships are coming to an end in this year too. A lot of it's just a lot of book endings, man. This year, I would call 2024 a book ending year. It's a book ending year because a lot of things came to a book end, you know. Yeah, man. We don't have time to be nitpicking with one another. We don't got time to be hating on one another. We don't got time to be throwing one another underneath buses and trying to, we don't, you know, because when black people feel like they can't win or they powerless, they begin to abuse other black people type shit. It's just a natural reaction type shit, you know, because being unified, that takes a lot more than turning on your brothers and sisters. Being unified, coming to some type of commonality, that ain't no easy task. That ain't an easy task. People would rather beef with you. They would rather become your op. They would rather sell you out to the white man than to stand arm in arm with you, not to fight anybody, just to be strong. Because strength respects strength. As long as you're not provoking, strength respects strength. Power respects power. And, you know, we got to be more powerful. I would say that there's power, but we got to become more powerful. We got to become more powerful. And that's what's going to be our shield. And that's what's going to be our protectorate. And we can't depend on Benjamin Crump, my niggas. We can't depend on Benjamin Crump. We can't depend on the law coming to give us justice. That's not, you know, and I don't mean to be, this ain't no doom and gloom type of shit. This ain't no doom and gloom. You're not doom scrolling. I'm just giving you the real from a black man's perspective, from my vantage point. You feel me? From where I see the future in the next 4 to 5 years is going to have to take, either remove yourself and just focus on you and your family and just stay out of the way, or if you outside like that and you on the front, you know, you want to be able to have a strong team type shit. You know, that's what it is. So let me leave you with this reminder that we have the year in review coming up tomorrow. I'm very excited about that. I'm literally, you know, I've been up. I spoke to Ross Ben today. He's super excited. You know, I'm going to be doing 2024 and he's going to be doing like 2025. You feel me? That's how we're going to be doing it. I'm going to do the year in review and he's going to do the year. He's going to give you the year in the prophecy type shit. You know what I mean? So this is our upcoming lecture. All right. 2024, Know the Ledge. Visualize the 9-year featuring Ross Ben and Red Pillar. You dig? And that is tomorrow on Zoom only. It's not going to be on YouTube. It's going to be on Zoom. Check us out. All right. As we do every year, we are going to be doing this year again. Our good brother Ross Ben will be returning to do a 2024 year in review. And simultaneously, we're going to be visualizing the 9-year, which is 2025. So if you know anything about prophecies that this brother has been able to bring forward to this channel, he's been able to properly envision what the future was going to be utilizing his sacred sciences and whatnot. He's been doing this for a few years on KTL, giving us the quote unquote calendar of what things are to come or what's to come in the upcoming year and whatnot. So he'll be doing this for 2025. All right. This will be on Monday, December the 30th, ladies and gentlemen, from 8 p.m. to 11 p.m. This will be on Zoom only. It will be available to our Patreons and it's also open to the public. I'm going to drop the link right here in the chat. If you want to get your tickets, we have an early bird special. So please take advantage of the early bird special. Get your ticket, pull up and be in the building. Brother's going to bring it. He's going to be doing his research. He's going to line things up for 2025 through the lens of a master teacher. I look forward to seeing y'all. And of course, I'm going to be laying it out with my metaphysical lens and whatnot. One of the craziest, most unforgettable years that I personally lived through, and I'm almost 50. And I promise you, 2024 is one for the record books. So I already started putting my presentation together. And the good brother Ross Ben is going to bring the science, and we're going to be in the building to receive that. So make sure you go ahead and get yourself the early bird ticket, and we will see you when you pull up on Monday, December 30th. Was y'all able to hear that? Yeah, so with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I want to say thank you for joining us tonight. It was a beautiful show. You know, we was just chopping it up, kicking it, you know what I mean, getting certain things off our chest. Yeah. So we'll see you tomorrow. If I can, I will try to do Melanin Mondays early, but I'm literally in the lab tonight I'm a break day, you know what I mean? Still working on finishing this presentation. I'm gonna be working my ass off until tomorrow, but I'm gonna do what I could do. You know, this weekend I was down for the count. Whatever this stomach virus shit that's going around, y'all need to be careful. This shit be, whew, man. Whatever this shit is, it's out here smacking people. So, you know what I mean? I was smacked, you know what I'm saying, for like a day. But I'm better now, you know what I mean? I bounced back, you know what I mean? So the work still got to get done. But yeah, we'll see you tomorrow and whatnot. We're gonna leave it on. You said the 4 cases, right? Shit. Get some ginger. Yeah, the ginger is what helped. I had the ginger tea earlier, and that was a good thing. But I've been fasting. I ain't been eating nothing. You know what I mean? I just been with the tea, with some water, and just keeping it like that. So yeah, we're gonna end it with the song, the Facts remix. All right. And we will see you soon. Love and light to the family. Peace.
Red, blue, purple light, friends. Red, blue, purple light, friends. Facts. Red, blue, purple light, friends. Red and blue, purple light, friends. Facts. Get to know the letter, sacrilegious Sunday to melanin Monday. You can get to know the letter, my love. Just open your third eye on Thursday. Lord, the food, the art, the clothes, the Vatican's getting exposed fast. We put the show on the road. You better stay on your toes. I was till the land, focused on the ego. Then I opened my heart, let go of the ego. Grand after grand, we stacking up these C notes. Facts, facts, yeah. We gon' put this shit on our back. Facts, facts. We in your city, pull up where we at. Facts, facts. Peace, love and light. Peace, love to the family. Peace, love and light to the family. Peace, love and light to the family.
These days and time, black man, is going to be the time that you have been waiting for. You came here for a reason. Whatever pressure, whatever adversity, whatever the fuck you feel, I don't know what you feel, but whatever you may be feeling is going to push you, and it's going to provoke you, and it's either going to make you or break you, similar to how pressure busts pipes or the shit makes diamonds.